On our way to Las Vegas in New York.
We're not Las Vegas, New York.
We're going to
Verona.
Verona. We're chilling. Verona to not catch the Rona.
What career? But I'm not a rapper.
What? We got Dylan driving the whip, Patty here. Smoke chilling.
We love Campbell so much, we had to take a trip.
We had to. Here we are.
Road again.
Driving. Gotta hit the
Just can't wait to get on the road again.
cash. That's all we're making.
Wi-Fi love is making music with my friends. I can't wait to get home.
3 hours later. Two hours later.
There we go. That's 6 minutes away and they couldn't make it. Look at them. 6 feet apart, socially distanced.
Two bros chilling in the hot tub, 5 feet apart cause they're not gay.
That's more than 6 feet. I'll kill you. No pizza. I need that. I'm broke. So. Scooby on the phone with his mama. Dylan checking his stocks. Look at this. Look at this great view. At turning stone, we can zoom in on that.
What's up, guys? Episode number 11 of the Poker Police Poker Vlog. I got a big announcement coming up soon, so keep your eyes out on that. Sorry this video is so late. So me and the boys, Sean, Smokey, and Bubba, all decided to take a trip up to Verona, New York, where Turning Stone Resort and Casino is. Smokey and myself headed straight for the poker room, while Sean and Bubba opted to play some craps. The whole reason we came out, other than the fact that you can gamble at 18 there, is because Turning Stone was running a $300 high hand every 30 minutes. So we were hoping one of us could bink one of those. We sat down at the 1-2 table with the max buy-in of $200, and this is the first hand. The tables are max 7-handed. For the first few hands, there are only 6 people seated. I'm in middle position, pick up Queen 10 of diamonds. I decided to just limp because it was literally the first hand I sat down for. It ends up being a family pot, so we get to see a flop 6 ways for only $2. Flop comes 8 King 8 Rainbow. With only $12 in the pot, it checks around, and we head straight to a free turn. Turn comes the 10 of clubs. Seat 3 and 5 both fold to start the action off. And now I at least have some value going forward. But again, this was the very first hand, so I'm fine with just getting to a showdown for cheap. So with that being said, I check and head to the river. River is the 2 of spades. The player to my direct right bets $5 into a $12 pot. With a fairly strong hand and not too many combinations beating us, and a bet this small, we decided to just toss in the calling chips. I'm the only one that calls. He turns over his cards. He has Queen 10 of spades, so first hand we sat down for, we get the chop. A few hands later, I decide to mix it up a bit and throw up a straddle under the gun. To our delight, we end up with a premium hand. Yes, that's right. 8-5 of clubs. It folds over to the button. The button calls $4. The small blind calls. The big blind folds. And we decide to just check with our monster, lay a little bit of a trap. Now the flop comes Queen of diamonds, 7-6 of clubs. Turns our pooper hand into an extremely strong draw. The small blind checks to us. I got a bit too excited and bet $12, almost pot size, and naturally both players fold. In hindsight, I probably could have bet super small with this straight flush draw to try and extract some value, but nonetheless, we scoop the pot and head to the next hand. This hand, I am in the small blind, and to our delight, we have 2 red 9s. It folds to the cutoff. He raises to $10. The button folds, and I decide to put in a re-raise to $25. The big blind folds, cutoff calls, and we go heads up to a flop. The flop is 8-4-3 Rainbow, which is beneficial to us. He probably has Ace-King, Ace-Queen, any kind of big premium hand if he's raising initially. I decided to lead out for a little over half pot, $30. Now, again, in hindsight, I definitely could have gone smaller on this sizing, but I'm happy to take down the pot early rather than him call and then an Ace, King, or Queen or something like that comes on the turn, and then I'm stuck with a tough spot. So we bet 30, he folds, and we take it down. After 2 orbits, we finally pick up a hand, and it's 2 snowmen. In the cutoff, we raise it up to $25, showing our strength. The button calls, the big blind calls, and then the gun calls. So either we are totally dominated, or no one respects our raise, and I would go with the latter. So we go 4 ways to a flop, and it comes queen 5-10, 2 spades. With this many people in the hand and our only draws being an 8 or a backdoor straight, I am just check folding to just about anything. Luckily, everyone checks, so we get to see a free card on the turn. The turn comes a 3 of spades. Putting a 3-card flush out there gives all the more reason to us to just check fold, but somehow no one bets, so we get to see another card for free. River comes a 7 of diamonds. Again, we're check folding every time here. It checks around, we turn over our 8s, and somehow it's good. These guys called $25 pre-flop and somehow missed that board. Quick stack update. After that hand, we're sitting at about $334. A little while later, we pick up Jack 8 of diamonds in middle position in a straddle pot. I decide to open it up to $8. Seat 1 in late position calls, under the gun calls, and then checks in the dark, and we go 3 ways to a flop. Flop is 8 Jack 10, 2 hearts. We're super strong here with top and bottom pair, so I bet $20. Seat 1 takes a while, is looking at his cards, looking at the board, and then says this.
Probably not. 125. Yes.
How much?
After seat 1 goes all in, under the gun gets out of the way, and it's on us. So I'm not too sure what to make of his dialogue in the moment, but with top and bottom pair, not much beats us. If he has a better hand than us on this board, then so be it. We decided to just put in the calling chips, and we're off to the races. So as expected, he puts it in with ace-king offsuit. He's drawn to a queen, an ace, or a king. 10 outs total. Let's see if we can fade this. Turn comes the 5 of diamonds, and the river the jack. So we river a boat, and we hold strong to scoop the pot. Taking seat 1's place is an older gentleman who the player to my right continuously called Bernie Sanders. So we're going to call him that as well. We are in the small blind this hand, and we pick up queen jack of clubs. The cutoff limps, the button folds, and I raise it up to $8. Bernie in the big blind decides to call. The cutoff calls, and we go 3 ways to a flop. The flop is incredibly favorable to us. 10 queen king with 1 club. We got second pair, good kicker, an open-ender, and a backdoor flush draw, so naturally, I bet way too big with $25. Now, good old Bernie min raises me in the big blind. The cutoff folds. Now, this should have thrown up some red flags for me, but me being overly aggressive, I ask.
Can I see what you have behind?
Bernie Sanders has got about 150.
$25 more.
And end up just making the call. We absolutely smash the turn. The 9 of hearts gives us the second nuts, with the only hand that beats us being ace jack. So we decide to sneakily check and let Bernie dig his grave. And just as planned, he ships his last $150 and we make the call. We turn over our cards and Bernie turns over Jack 9 offsuit, which is a disaster narrowly missed. If we didn't turn that 9, Bernie would have ran off with all of our money, but luckily we are chopping regardless of what comes on the river, which is better than losing. After a pretty long time, we have king 10 offsuit in the big blind. I've had to fold a lot of hands after seeing flops, and at this point I was kind of steaming. The cutoff bet's $4, the button raises to 10, and I make a very loose call out of position. The cutoff folds, and we go heads up to a flop. Flop comes 10-9-9 rainbow, so top pair, good kicker, and being tilted, we lead out for $20. The button instant calls. We go to the turn. Turn is a brick, 3 of clubs. My thinking at this time was that if I was ahead on the flop, I'm still ahead here. But obviously, I didn't pick up on the strong instant call, so I went all in for $73 effective, which is what he had left. And you guessed it, he instant called us again. He turns over queens, and we're drawing to a 10 or a king. And let's see what comes out. So the 8 of clubs comes out, no help to us, we lose that pot. A couple of hands later, we are in late position and we pick up pocket aces, aka pocket rockets. We decide to raise it up to $8. Early position calls, middle position, the guy that just beat us with queens calls, and we go 3 ways to a flop. Flop is 9-3-5, 2 hearts. Both players check to us. We bet $15. Early position folds. Then Mr. Queens jams on us for $83. Now we are very strong here. We hold the ace of hearts, so we block a lot of the flush draws he could have. We block the ace deuce and ace 4 straight draws. And if he has a set here, then oh well. I feel like I got my money in good here. So we make the call, show our aces. He doesn't show what he has, so we have to sweat the run out blind. So he mucks his cards, and we hold. After we won the last hand, the table broke and I ended up at a new table. A few minutes after I got there, a kid who looked clueless sat to my direct right. It seemed like it was the first time he ever was in a casino. With that being said, We have ace queen offsuit in the big blind. The button limps, then the small blind, the rookie, raises to 12. I then try to bully him out of the hand and raises to 30. With ace queen against a kid like this, I don't think the play is too out of line. The button folds, and the rook goes all in for $150 effective. Now, at this point, I didn't know what to do. It was getting late, and I've been playing for around 4 hours, and it pretty much came down to if I win here, I can just leave up a bunch, or if I lose, then I go home broke. So, here's what happened.
I call.
So the rook turns his hand over, and he's got ace-king offsuit. We're drawing close to dead, and let's see how the run-out goes.
Chop, right?
We get absolutely blessed on that turn, end up chopping the pot, we both have top boat, and we live to see another day. Now I can't make this up, guys. 2 hands later, we're on the button, we have ace-queen offsuit again, the cutoff limps, we raise to 10, small blind calls, the rook calls, and we go 3 ways to a flop. We smash top pair and a backdoor nut flush draw. Small blind checks, rook checks, and I bet 15. The small blind check raises me. He puts in a raise to 30 with about $40 behind, which just spewed weakness to me. The rook gets out of the way, and with top pair, second best kicker, and the nut flush draw blocker, I announce confidently, all in. After a little bit, the small blind calls, and guess what we were up against yet again. That's right, the guy slow rolled us until the river, turns over his ace-king when we had our ace-queen tabled, but that happens. Ace-queen versus ace-king, almost back-to-back hands, we get it in. It's poker, so we cashed out for $56, booked a losing session, we were in for $200, and we head back to the hotel room to go cry ourselves to sleep and come back the next day, which is the next video. I'll see you guys there. Peace.